A very good evening, viewers. You're watching the latest edition of 6 Stories at 6, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you, getting you the biggest stories of the day that we're closely tracking on Republic TV, viewers. The first story, of course, is who has burned Nepal? Who's the mastermind behind those deadly protests that transpired for at least 48 hours and toppled the government? There is still, of course, violence that is erupting, and all eyes are on who is going to be the next chief of the interim government. We'll get you all of that. Also, story number 2 is how Delhi Police's special cell has registered a big win. It's a Khilafat module, a Pakistan-backed terror module that has been dismantled by the Delhi Police, viewers. Story number 3, it's a big story from United States, viewers. Trump ally, a conservative and also a pro-gun individual, a pro-gun personality. He has in fact been shot dead, viewers. All that you need to know about him. And story number 4 will be the talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Mauritian counterpart in Varanasi. Key agreements have also been signed. And viewers, there was high drama in Srinagar today over the detention of Aam Aadmi Party MLA Mehraj Malik. We'll get you more on that from ground. And finally, we'll give you a closer look of Exercise Maitri, the Indo-Thailand military exercise, the joint military exercise. So we start with Nepal, viewers. We are bringing you ground reports from the country. 3 neighbors, 3 collapsed governments, and the domino of the unrest is sweeping South Asia. Republic TV is now bringing you a super exclusive from Nepal. The face of the student protest, Ashutosh Bansal, today has made a big admission, a big revelation, saying that there was infiltration. Now, viewers, you can see his visuals. He has broken his silence about the mastermind and a playbook that was in fact being carried out that matches what happened in Bangladesh. Watch this report.
Three neighbors, 3 years, and a collapse of 3 governments. We saw it in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka, and now in Nepal. Is the deep state playbook behind the bloody coup in Nepal? Ashutosh Bansal, the face of the Nepal protests, shot in the face and chest, now breaks his silence. He says what happened in Nepal looks strikingly similar to the Bangladesh playbook.
So it was like this. So this was not there were a lot of reasons. At first, like, corruption is going on in Nepal for years and years. So it just accumulated over the years, and it was just one of those moments where it just outburst. So what happened in recent past few months was, Nepalese people are always offended by corruption and stuff, but there was this new trend. Like, we started exposing people, and there was this new trend. I guess it was it was influenced from Indonesia, that exposing nepo kids. Like, okay, politicians are earning black money and their children are enjoying all the perks of it. So what we did the same thing. We exposed the nepo kids, we exposed politician kids, and that thing started to grow a lot.
Organizers used social media to mobilize the masses. There was infiltration and a mastermind behind it.
We got infiltrated by, I would say the right word would be criminals, for sure, without a doubt. Because after doing things we did, still people sent somebody, I just want to quote them as criminals, to do violent things that they were not supposed to do. So yeah, there was infiltration for sure, without a doubt. The place was fixed, the time was fixed. But the person behind it, or the mastermind behind it, I'm also unknown who did it.
And meanwhile, an uneasy calm prevails in Nepal. The army has taken over the streets. Flights have resumed. Shops and markets and restaurants have opened.
नेपाल काठमांडू में 10 बजे के बाद फिर से कर्फ्यू यहाँ पर शुरू हो गया है। चूँकि 10 बजे पहले कर्फ्यू जो है उसमें ढिलाई दी गई थी, लेकिन आप एक बार फिर देख सकते हैं कि सड़कों को यहाँ पर किस तरह से आप देख सकते हैं। यहाँ की नेपाल की जो आर्मी है वो सिचुएशंस को संभालने के लिए देखिए किस तरह से यहाँ पर कर्फ्यू लगा रही है, ताकि किसी तरह कोई दिक्कत न हो, लोग सड़कों पर ना आए। ये आप देख सकते हैं कि किस तरह से रोका गया है। देखिए जो नेपाल के जो जवान हैं, नेपाल के जो सेना के लोग हैं, वो किस तरह से अपनी ड्यूटी दे रहे हैं। तो आप देख सकते हैं कि आर्मी ने पूरे नेपाल को इस समय संभाल लिया है और यहाँ की जो स्थिति है वह अब सामान्य है। काफ़ी ठीक लग रहा है कि लोग आ जा रहे हैं।
People demand political stability and restoration of peace.
करप्शन मुक्त चाहता है, यूथ लीडर चाहिए अब हम लोगों को, जो डेवलप अच्छा करे, एजुकेशन
जो आगे ले जाए, जो नेपाल को करप्शन से भी आगे ले जाए।
अभी तक तो ठीक है, देखते हैं अब बाद में क्या। अभी तक
कर्फ्यू क्या स्टार्ट हो गया क्या?
हाँ, ये बोल रहे हैं आर्मी वाले, ये सुन रहा हूँ मैं भी
जी। आर्मी वाले यहाँ काम कर रहे हैं?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
Normal life may have resumed in the country, but the questions remain. Who masterminded the uprising, and will the domino of collapse continue in South Asia?
Now we shift our focus to a big achievement, viewers, by the Delhi police. A special cell uncovered a pan-India terror module. 5 arrests have been made, and each of them operated from a different state, but they were part of one sinister plot, viewers. Ghazwa-e-Hind, hidden hands in Pakistan, a plot to destabilize India. In fact, some of them were also expert in making chemical weapons, viewers. Some were bomb experts amongst the 5 who have been arrested from different parts of the country, viewers. We tell you how the Delhi Police Special Cell dismantled this Pakistan-backed terror web.
A Khilafat-style terror group plotting Ghazwa-e-Hind has been busted. Their mission? Jihad, targeted killings and spreading terror across India. And today, Delhi Police Special Cell has cracked open this pan-India terror module. 5 men are now behind bars. Ashar Danish, Sufia Abu Bakr Khan, Aftab Qureshi, Huzaifa Yaman and Kamran Qureshi, the very faces of this plot. From Delhi to Jharkhand, Telangana to Mumbai and Madhya Pradesh, this network had spread its tentacles across the country. The kingpin, Ashar Danish from Ranchi, was in direct touch with a Pakistan-based handler, building this entire network brick by brick. His key associates, Sufia Abu Bakr Khan and Aftab Qureshi, were picked up from Delhi. Huzaifa Yaman was arrested from Nizamabad in Telangana and Kamran Qureshi from Rajgarh in Madhya Pradesh.
5 persons have been arrested in this module. It was a pan-India terror module. Handler was a Pak handler who was directly in touch with the central character of this group, Ashrar Danish, who is from Ranchi. We can say so far what has emerged from investigation, Ashrar Danish was the central figure of this group. He is quite educated. He is MA in English Honours. From him we have recovered a lot of incriminating materials which is used for making IEDs. He was directly in touch with all these characters.
From IED precursors to weapons to cartridges, huge recoveries have been made. Another sinister design from across the border neutralized. Investigators are now probing if this was just the tip of the iceberg or part of a much larger terror conspiracy.
It was a shocking sight, viewers, in Utah when Charles Kirk, a conservative American activist, an ally of US President Donald Trump, was shot dead at a university event in the state of Utah in an apparent targeted assassination. The moment was caught on camera. It showed the crowd screaming, fleeing in panic, viewers. Now, he was a staunch supporter of Donald Trump, a conservative and a controversial figure. He has justified gun violence-related deaths in 2023, and he was answering a question on gun violence, and just as he was starting to answer the question, he was shot dead in broad daylight. Here's more.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Horror on a college campus in the United States.
Over the last 10 years, counting or not
Charlie Kirk, one of the most prominent conservative activists, shot dead in Utah.
counting or not counting gang violence.
Charlie Kirk sitting on the stool addressing the crowd at the Utah Valley University. And just as he was answering the question on mass shooting in America, a single shot rang out. He's seen recoiling and raising his hand to his neck as he falls off his chair. Kirk struck in the neck, crowd running in terror.
I'm getting out of here.
Donald Trump has blamed the radical left for Charlie Kirk's assassination.
I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country.
You guys okay? Hey, love you. Be safe.
Eyewitnesses recall the moment.
Charlie Kirk talks about gang violence, and right as he finished that, he was shot in the neck. I was about 50 feet away. Again, I was more focused on wedging my way through the crowd to speak to Charlie than actually what was going on. And I did, for a brief second, see Charlie's head like slump over, and then the crowd just pushed back. It was a stampede.
Another eyewitness point out to the security lapse.
I turned to look back and it sounded like the shot came from behind me and down into there. And then I just saw everybody starting to drop. So I dropped. I wasn't too worried because I didn't hear any more gunshots, but you never know. And then I just heard the crowd start yelling, "Run!" And so we just all got up and left. So I didn't see them apprehend what they think is the alleged shooter. When I looked back up to the stage, when I got up, Charlie was already gone. So that's basically what I saw.
Manhunt for the killer continues as Donald Trump says it's a dark moment for America.
Over the last 10 years, counting or not
A college talk turned into bloodbath, leaving America grappling with yet another chilling reminder of gun violence.
counting or not counting gang violence.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a day visit to Uttar Pradesh's Varanasi, and also he visited Uttarakhand today. Now, during his Varanasi visit, Prime Minister Modi met his Mauritian counterpart, Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam. The two leaders held wide-ranging talks at a bilateral meeting and exchanged several documents. Following the bilateral, Prime Minister Modi emphasized on Indo-Mauritian ties, highlighting Mauritius being an important pillar of India's neighborhood-first policy and Vision Mahasagar. This, of course, with special focus on Indian Ocean and keeping safety in the waters, in the Indian Ocean waters. Here's more.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a day visit to his parliamentary constituency, Varanasi. A massive roadshow marked on his arrival, with thousands on the streets to welcome him. The visit also carries a diplomatic edge as Prime Minister Modi held crucial bilateral talks with his Mauritius counterpart.
हमारी संस्कृति और संस्कार सदियों पहले भारत से मॉरिशस पहुंचे और वहां की जीवन धारा में रच बस गए। आज हमने मॉरिशस की आवश्यकताओं और प्राथमिकताओं को ध्यान में रखते हुए एक स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक पैकेज पर निर्णय लिया है। यह इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मजबूत करेगा, रोजगार के नए अवसर पैदा करेगा और स्वास्थ्य सुविधाओं को सुदृढ़ करेगा।
Mauritius Prime Minister Naveen Chandra Ramagulam is in India, where he held bilateral talks with Prime Minister Modi. During the bilateral discussion, the two leaders reviewed the full spectrum of cooperation with particular focus on development and capacity building. They also discussed opportunities for expanding collaboration in health, education, science and technology, energy and infra. While addressing a joint press meet alongside Mauritius Prime Minister, PM Modi announced India's special economic package for Mauritius that supports infra, employment and healthcare sectors. The visit builds upon the positive momentum generated by Prime Minister Modi's visit to Mauritius in March 2025. During the visit, Prime Minister also announced India's new vision for Global South and named it Mahasagar. India and Mauritius are two nations, but the dreams and the destiny of the two are one.
And a suspected explosion rocked Jammu's Doda district today, sending shockwaves across the region. The blast, believed to have been triggered by a crude explosive, comes amid heightened tensions following the arrest of Aam Aadmi Party MLA Mehraj Malik under the Public Safety Act. Security forces clamped down with internet suspension, restrictions on gatherings already in force as there were tensions today. There was high drama in Srinagar meanwhile, as well as Aam Aadmi Party's Sanjay Singh also had made several allegations. He was there to make a press conference and he scaled up the wall, as you can see in those visuals. He was scaling up the gate to meet Farooq Abdullah, the NC chief, who was standing all across, but he could not meet him. So there was high drama in Srinagar also today following Aam Aadmi Party MLA's arrest.
A suspected blast has been reported inside a premise in Doda town. Forensic teams have rushed to the spot. Preliminary reports suggest a crude explosive triggered the explosion. Internet services have been snapped and Section 144 restrictions on public gatherings have been imposed across the district. The clampdown follows the arrest of AAP MLA Mehraj Malik under the PSA, adding to the already charged atmosphere. Meanwhile, two people have been detained for questioning as investigations gather pace. With Doda on the edge, security agencies are leaving nothing to chance as they work to establish the full scale of the suspected blast.
The police swung into the action and the Doda police, on reaching the spot, found that there has been an explosion inside the premises in the Doda town itself that was on way to the Doda district police line in the Doda, after which the FSL teams have also been called in. The two of the house owners, that is identified as Javed and Khurshid, both have been detained for the questioning. What the agencies say, as per the initial investigation that they have carried out, that this was a crude explosives that were used for this explosion.
And finally, viewers, we get you about the latest from Meghalaya that has now become the battleground for the Indo-Thai War Games. Well, two armies training as one force in Meghalaya. Here's a sneak peek into Maitri 14.
In the hills of Meghalaya, two armies, two nations, training as one force. Exercise Maitri 14, India and Thailand taking their military partnership to the next level. From combat runs to live firing, from IED briefings to hostage rescue drills. This is India and Thailand's joint war game, sharpening counter-terror skills and building battlefield synergy. At Umroi in Meghalaya, India and Thailand soldiers running shoulder to shoulder, building endurance, teamwork and trust with every step. This is combat conditioning, the first step towards interoperability, sinking two armies into one seamless fighting force. Then came weapons handling, the two sides exchanging tactics, techniques, and battlefield lessons. From rifles to close-quarter combat strategies, soldiers are learning to fight the same way as a unified team. Anti-terror drills in action, two armies practicing hostage rescue operations with their canines leading the way. Evacuating civilians, neutralizing threats, and working in perfect sync, preparing for the worst-case scenarios. The range comes alive as both armies fire side by side. Precision marksmanship, rapid-fire drills, and room clearance simulations ensuring that when the call comes, they can respond together. An important session on IEDs, Indian soldiers sharing expertise earned in years of counter-insurgency operations. From detection to safe disposal, the Thai contingent getting hands-on training on handling the deadliest battlefield threat. Exercise Maitri 14 is not just a military drill. It is a strategic handshake, strengthening defense ties and preparing for joint counter-terror operations.
All right, that's all from our side on the 6 Stories at 6. We'll be right back with the breaking news at 6:30. Don't go anywhere.
Foreign funding and deep infiltration nexus unmasked. Lobby in India goes overboard to draw anarchy parallels. Crafted coup designs in Nepal. India next target. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
I choose a world where we dream, and the limit is the sky. And this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा। मसाला।
भारत की अपनी दुकान, इंडिया सोना।
अपने देश का सामान, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना।
इंडिया सोना। आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है? सबका राजा, आर प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो। मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Yesterday, a coward decided to take our 8-year-old son Fletcher away from us. Because of their actions, we will never be allowed to hold him, talk to him, play with him, and watch him grow into the wonderful young man he was on the path to becoming.
Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph!
Families in Minneapolis are mourning. Our Greater Annunciation Fellowship is mourning. Our entire city is united in grief, and at the same time,
Delhi Special Cell bursts spark-linked terror module. Pan-India terror plot by Khilafat-style group. India fights the danger of radicalized terror. Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School, Bengaluru.
I choose a world where we dream, and the limit is the sky. And this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
भारत की अपनी दुकान इंडिया सोना, अपने देश का सामान इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना। आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
त्योहार भी आ गए और हुंडे सुपर डिलाइट डेज भी। अब हर कदम पे खुशियाँ बांटेंगी। हर सेलिब्रेशन अपना अपना सा लगेगा। यही तो टाइम है प्यार दिखाने का। अपनी फेवरेट हुंडई कार को आपकी मनपसंद हुंडई कारों पर मिल रही है कमाल की डील्स। वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडई ही, चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की।
So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think.
सबसे बात हमेशा विजिट करता आया, सीखता आया कि वे राष्ट्र हित को सर्वोपरि रखना।
Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic. We have been in frequent contact with our allies, and we are marshaling the full power.
During an interview, American economist Richard Wolff called out the US administration for attacking India with tariffs and shooting itself in the foot by doing so. Wolff said that India is central for trade and that it will find other places to sell its exports if the US gets shut off. Wolff said that India is now, according to the United Nations, the largest country on earth. The United States telling India what to do is like a mouse hitting his fist to an elephant. India will find other places to sell its exports if the US is shut off to India, and the move will only strengthen the BRICS nations. But like Russia found another place to sell its energy, India will sell its exports no longer to the United States but to the rest of the BRICS. India has a long-standing relationship with the US since the Soviet era, and you are playing with a very different adversary. But for those with some humor, it will be the spectacle of the United States acting like it's the world's tough guy as
Coup is now complete, but clashes continue outside the Nepal Army headquarters amid talks between the Nepal Army and protesters on who will be the next interim head of Nepal.
This was the protest done by Gen Z people, and on September 8, it was done in front of Parliament. Protest was going pretty peaceful, and once we reached to the Parliament, violence started happening and police hit us with bullets.
Ashutosh Basnet, face of the Nepal protest, shot in the face and chest during the violence, admits that the protest could have been infiltrated by external forces.
देखिए, जड़ें इतनी मजबूत हैं कि हमारी डेमोक्रेसी की जड़ कट नहीं पा रही है और संविधान बदल नहीं पा रहे हैं। वरना नेपाल जैसी स्थिति यहाँ भी होती है और चर्चा भी हो रही है कि क्यों नहीं भारत में ऐसा हो रहा है।
Amid the Nepal turmoil, Congress jumping and asking for anarchy. Nepal-like situation possible, says Congress party. Khilafat terror module busted by the Delhi police. Court sends 5 terror accused to 12 days of custody. Suspected blast at Jammu and Kashmir's Doda district. FSL team reaches site. Situation tense amid the arrest of Aam Aadmi Party MLA. American political commentator, pro-Trump host Charlie Kirk shot dead. The shooter still at large in America. Getting in breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, as we get details of infiltration in Nepal. Now, many jailbreaks have been reported. And amid the jailbreak, getting in breaking news now that there was an attempted infiltration, the SSB, our agency, has caught 4 prisoners who are trying to enter Indian border. They were trying to enter from Nepal into India after escaping from the Nepal jails during violence. Armed border force Jawans stopped them during interrogation at the Rupai Diha border. After the interrogation, the prisoners were handed over to the Nepal police late night. Prisoners have escaped from different jails during the riots in Nepal. The armed border force Jawans continuously monitoring the Nepal border, especially following the violence and the regime change in Nepal. Nearly, some estimates putting it at almost 15,000, 10 to 15,000 prisoners who could have escaped in the last 2 days alone. Raghavendra is joining us live. He's in Kathmandu. Let me go across to him. Raghavendra, ये जो border पे पेट्रोलिंग चल रही है और चेक्स चल रही है, why don't you tell us कितने लोग हैं, ये जो जेल ब्रेक से कितने लोग एस्केप हुए हैं और कितने लोग अभी बॉर्डर पे पकड़े गए?
देखिए, कई जेल नहीं है, कई जेल है कई शहरों में, जहां पर जब लोग जब आगजनी करने लगे, तोड़फोड़ करने लगे, दरवाजों को खोलने लगे, तो बहुत सारे कैदी थे आगे हैं, कुछ
Okay, we have a bad audio line there with Raghavendra. We'll go back to that, but these are prisoners. These are not just escaped prisoners. These are prisoners who escaped from Nepal prisons. Following the jailbreak, those inmates who escaped from different jails in Nepal were caught by our border security forces at the Nepal border. There is a increased vigil, and the SSB has caught hold of 4 of them. The 4 of them in your in that picture on your screens as we keep a close watch on the situation. Let's also get to the pictures that we got into our newsrooms earlier today of the fresh clashes that broke out outside the Nepal Army headquarters. These were pictures that came in earlier today, reminded you of what happened on the 8th of September, day before yesterday, but they were from actually this morning. Reports also emerging that there was a disagreement on the names of the interim head, and that confusion, the chaos also playing out on the streets of Kathmandu outside the army headquarters in Nepal, as there is complete chaos over who will be the new interim head. There are different groups, so-called Gen Z leaders, different student groups who are all pitching in their own leader. Representatives of the protesters also met the Nepal army earlier today to discuss the issue. A section of the protesters also pushed for the former Chief Justice Sushila Karki's name as the interim head. There was an announcement made that she could have been the interim head, but it appears that she may not be the interim head after all. In fact, during the press conference of the protesters, there was further chaos. You just saw the shot of the briefing. Different points of view, and they couldn't come to a consensus. The chaos was playing out even at the news conference, as they couldn't speak in one voice. Now, talking about Nepal, we have another aspect. Many Indian nationals have been stranded, and different state governments are making efforts to bring back the stranded Indian nationals from Nepal. They are returning one by one batch at a time as flight operations resume. We had pictures of different batches returning to India. That was a video that was put out by one of the batches that was returning from Kathmandu as flights resume. Shambhavi's life. Shambhavi, how many Indians are approximately stranded there?
Well, as of now, 3 flights from Kathmandu has arrived here, and we have spoken to several of them. And we are joined by another person who, from here, he went to Kathmandu, and we'll talk to him and understand how the situation in Nepal is right now. Sir, कैसा था नेपाल में इस समय क्या हालात हैं? आपने क्या
अभी इसके 2-3 दिन पहले जो आंदोलन हुआ उसमें काफ़ी जटिल था जो था, अभी जो है धीरे धीरे सब सही हो रहा है. अभी सही होगा, हम विश्वास करेंगे सब सही रहेगा.
तो आपने वहाँ पे आपको वापस आने में कोई दिक्कत हुई या बाहर आपने क्या देखा, आग वगैरह? बाकी लोग बता रहे थे कि काफ़ी आग लगी है, बिल्डिंगें जला रहे हैं लोग.
नहीं, अभी उस बारे में तो अब धीरे धीरे सब सही हो रहा है. उसके साथ कुछ बाहर के आदमी भी संलग्न थे, इसके लिए सब प्रॉब्लम हुआ है. सब सही होगा, हम विश्वास करते. थैंक यू सो मच. Just like him, we've spoken to several other people who have successfully managed to come here from Nepal, and they've shared with us how the situation in Nepal has gotten better with time, and will definitely, positively, hopefully continue to be better. And they're very happy that now they're back in India, and we will keep bringing you the ground updates. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Shambhavi, at the airport in Delhi, where Indians stranded in Nepal are landing. Meanwhile, Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde extended his support to the tourists stranded in Nepal, assuring them of all possible assistance to ensure a safe return back to India. Nearly 150 tourists from Maharashtra itself have been left stranded in Nepal due to the ongoing clashes and the violence and the regime change.
Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has taken proactive steps to address the situation of stranded tourists in Nepal. This amid violent protests in Nepal causing unrest across Kathmandu. Nearly 150 tourists from Maharashtra have been left stranded due to the ongoing violent protests. He extended his support to tourists from Maharashtra, particularly those from Murbad Taluka. The Deputy Chief Minister spoke to them over the phone and assured them of all possible assistance for their safe return. This, as the Indian government remains committed to ensuring the safe return of stranded Indians in Nepal. Meanwhile, flights from Kathmandu has also landed in the Delhi Indira Gandhi International Airport, bringing home those stranded in Nepal.
Getting in some more breaking news updates as the Prime Minister reviews the flood situation in different parts of the country. Has taken stock in Punjab, Himachal Pradesh and today in Uttarakhand. The Prime Minister visited Dehradun on the 11th of September. That's today. Review the flood situation. Damage caused due to cloudbursts, rain, landslide in different areas of Uttarakhand, different districts. The Prime Minister has announced a financial assistance of 1,200 crore for flood and rain affected areas in Uttarakhand. The Prime Minister has announced ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees for the families of the deceased and 50,000 for those injured in different cases across Uttarakhand. The Prime Minister has also announced a comprehensive support under the Prime Minister Cares or the PM Cares for Children scheme, especially to children orphaned due to recent flooding and landslides, as per a release of the Prime Minister's office. The PMO has confirmed these details. Famous American conservative influencer, host and Trump's ally, Charlie Kirk, was shot dead earlier today during an event in Utah in the United States while he was giving a speech at a university. His assassination has become the latest case of a political violence, and that too in full public glare, reigniting concerns around gun control and different shooting incidents in America, and also the intolerance of the left to such incidents, given how some sections of the left and the liberals are celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk, not just in America but around the world.
Not counting gang violence. Great!
You get the worst ideas when you have secularism. Men give birth. No borders. America's a terrible country. These things are almost all outgrowths of secularism. But this generation, you guys want something deeper. You want something more.
U.S. most fiery right-wing speaker and U.S. President Donald Trump's close ally, Charlie Kirk, was shot dead. He was shot straight in the neck while giving speech at a uni in Utah.
Just fired a firearm. Shots fired at UVU, Charlie Kirk, Turning Point.
The 31-year-old was U.S.'s most fiery right-wing speaker.
Speaking to you in my personal capacity tonight as a 26-year-old, I see the angst of young people as well as the challenges facing new parents. I am here tonight to tell you, to warn you, that this election is a decision between preserving America as we know it and eliminating everything that we love. To hold down the good, decent middle-class patriots striving to build a family and pursue a decent life.
So who was Charlie Kirk?
If you want to have a privileged life in America, very simple. Start acting a certain way.
What do you mean act a certain way?
Get married to one person and stay married to that person and don't abandon them, of which 75% of black men do.
So, okay, we have 2 black men right here. By that statistics, one of us is not going to get married to one woman. So,
okay, I hope you guys defy the odds.
Okay, so
were you raised by a two-parent
yes,
household?
I was.
Okay, good. And that's why you are probably here, because that elevates my argument. Our belief system is that you come down to the most foundational family unit. And when that breaks down so severely, don't be shocked if that group, when it acts that way, stays in poverty over a longer period of time.
I said capitalism is a deadly vampire that feasts on the blood of the working class.
Capitalism is a deadly vampire that feasts on the blood of the working class.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that for me?
I don't really want to right now, but because
do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
So you're feasting on the blood of the working class. How dare you?
Yeah. I know.
How do you feel about that?
We all have to do the best that we can.
No, you don't. Why don't you go live on a farm and not use the fruits of the working class and just be a socialist with your friends? Why use the fruits of the free market? White people represented fairly in the National Basketball Association.
Who cares? What political power does the national...
Hold on, I thought we're all about fair representation.
Listen.
I think that it should, by law, half of the NBA should be white.
Great, fine.
And the product would suck.
Lobby for it.
Because
I don't
blacks
care.
are much better at basketball than we whites are.
What political power does the NBA have?
A lot, actually. The NBA reaches millions of people every day. They have slogans that people internalize. In fact, if the NBA had no political power, why would they have to wear Black Lives Matter on all their jerseys? Why would politicians try to get their endorsements all the time? The NBA is more powerful than Congress in some ways of shaping the minds.
It's your turn to be academically dishonest.
Hold on
now,
a second.
But sure.
No. But if you want fair representation, just to be clear, then why would you not be against whites by law being half of the National Basketball Association? Right now, black people make up 88% of the NBA.
Charlie was shot at that event. He was transported to a local hospital where he later passed. Last night, his body was moved to the state office of the medical examiner. We will continue to facilitate movements to get him home today and with his family. Yesterday, during the investigative process, we located a couple of persons of interest. We interviewed those individuals, and after releasing them and after clearing them of being suspects, they faced scrutiny, they faced threats. We asked the public to be patient with the investigative process. These individuals were not suspects, they were people of interest. We ask that you do not impose into those people and that investigative process. They don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that. I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They have worked around the clock, all day yesterday, through the night last night. Investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, the university, our federal partners with the FBI, the ATF, and many others. Those are just a few of the people that we have involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time. We are working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual. If we are unsuccessful, we will reach out to you as the media and we will push that publicly to help us identify them. But we are confident in our abilities right now, and we would like to move forward in a manner that keeps everyone safe and moves this process appropriately. Last night I communicated with Erica. The family's devastated. As a commissioner of public safety, as a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks, we've seen this state come together to help families in mourning, come together as a community to show what Utah is known for a state of character, of service, of camaraderie, of a neighboring feel. We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was, and how we will work to bring to justice the actions of one individual or any other individuals that assisted in that. Our state has gone through a lot, and we will come out successful. With that, I'll turn the time over to Special Agent Bowles.
Good morning. My name is Robert Bowles, and I am the Special Agent in charge of the Salt Lake Field Office. Following yesterday's tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, FBI agents have been working around the clock in coordination with our law enforcement partners. We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear. and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people. It's to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Any attack on the First Amendment is an attack on the very foundation of our democracy. That is why we will relentlessly pursue this case and the shooter until we find him. We also continue to grieve with the family and the community. It's our community. If you have any video or images from the shooting, we ask you to please submit them to our digital media tip website at www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley Shooting. You can also call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. We truly rely on the public's help in these types of cases, and no tip is too small or insignificant. Thank you.
Commissioner James Matthews from Sky News. Can I ask about the shooter? There's clearly information about him or her. You say you're confident at this stage in terms of tracking down who they are. Can you talk to us about their movements, their demeanour? Do you think it's a man? And also, can I ask, what were the security arrangements in place? Was that roof being monitored? It's a question many people will have. Absolutely.
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
I choose a world where we dream, and the limit is the sky. And this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a decor brand. Live consciously.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला भारत की अपनी दुकान इंडिया सोना अपने देश का सामान इंडिया सोना इंडिया सोना
त्योहार भी आ गए और हुंडे सुपर डिलाइट डेज भी अब हर कदम पे खुशियां बांटेंगी हर सेलिब्रेशन अपना अपना सा लगेगा यही तो टाइम प्यार दिखाने का अपनी फेवरेट हुंडई कार को आपकी मनपसंद हुंडई कारों पर मिल रही है कमाल की डील्स वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडई ही चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला डिलीशियस हेल्दी एवरीडे
Yesterday, a coward decided to take our 8-year-old son Fletcher away from us. Because of their actions, we will never be allowed to hold him, talk to him, play with him, and watch him grow into the wonderful young man he was on the path to becoming.
Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph!
Families in Minneapolis are mourning. Our Greater Annunciation Fellowship is mourning. Our entire city is united in grief, and at the same time, based on this incredible group of people that has assembled here in City Hall, we are also united in action.
Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph!
We need a statewide and a federal ban on assault weapons.
Justice for Ralph!
Toolkit lobby attempting to destabilize India. YouTubers peddling Nepal model in India narrative. Lobbies go all out in pitching for anarchy in India. Debating tonight at 8:30 p.m.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा, आर प्योर मसाला।
भारत की अपनी दुकान, इंडिया सोना, अपने देश का सामान, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आर प्योर मसाला। त्योहार भी आ गए और हुंडे सुपर डिलाइट डेज भी। अब हर कदम पे खुशियाँ बांटेंगी। हर सेलिब्रेशन अपना अपना सा लगेगा। यही तो टाइम है प्यार दिखाने का। अपनी फेवरेट हुंडई कार को आपकी मनपसंद हुंडई कारों पर मिल रही है कमाल की डील्स। वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडई ही, चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की।
So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think. Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic. We have been in frequent contact with our allies, and we are marshalling the full power.
During an interview, American economist Richard Wolff called out the US administration for attacking India with tariffs and shooting itself in the foot by doing so.
Delhi Special Cell bursts spark-linked terror module. Pan-India terror plot by Khilafat-style group. India fights the danger of radicalized terror. Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and welcome you watching This is Exclusive with me, Shavinson. Tonight on This is Exclusive, I come to you with two very special stories. The first, the Khilafat plot that has been exposed by the Delhi police. Tonight on This is Exclusive, we take you through the details of what is now being seen as one of the most successful operations being carried out by the Delhi Police Special Cell. Why it remains a cause of concern, the modus operandi and much more on this edition of This is Exclusive. Not just that, the other big story that we are tracking coming in from Nepal. Was this some sort of an organic protest? The Gen Z protesters saying that this was to uproot corruption in Nepal. Was this contaminated? We'll get you all this and much more, but first, let me take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Republic gets the inside details of Pakistan's sinister Khilafat agenda on Indian soil. Exclusive details on ISIS terror module breaking tonight. It's a massive multi-state operation with one plot to destabilize India. 5 terror suspects held more under radar. Nepal attempts to recover after spate of violent protests. Army facilitates talks on next interim head. Speculation over 3 names in the running.
This was the protest done by Gen Z people, and on September 8th it was done in front of Parliament. Protest was going pretty peaceful, and once we reached to the Parliament, violence started happening and police hit us with bullets.
Ashutosh Basnet, face of the Nepal protests, shot in the face and chest during protest, admits infiltration by external forces. Ladies and gentlemen, Delhi Police Special Cell has struck a decisive blow against the forces of radical terror. Tonight, we bring you an exclusive